Hey guys, my name is Matimio, and today I have some Star Wars The Old Republic gameplay for you guys. I know this is not Battlefield 3, a lot of you go over my channel for Battlefield 3, but I do mix it up, I do like to play other games, and the reason why I wanted to post this video was to talk about Ilum and why I think it's broken and what could be done to maybe fix it and make it a little bit more enjoyable. Because right now I don't think this is what the developers intended. It just is not a very polished experience in my opinion, and so yeah, I just wanted to go over the stuff that I think would make it more enjoyable for both sides. So the first thing I think they need to do is to optimize their engine. Right now, if you get into a skirmish with an enemy, and let's say it's 20 versus 20, usually it's 20 for the Republic and 50 for the Imperials, but that's not the point, the game really starts to lag. And it's not, I don't believe it's the computer, because I know I have a really nice computer. My friend has an even better computer than I do, and he still lags in these situations. I think it's just the engine. So if they're able to optimize their engine, it's going to make everything more enjoyable, because it's not just going to be a lag fest when you do have Zerg on Zerg fights, which is, I'm assuming, what they were intending this PvP zone would entail. So another thing I think they need to change is make it so that you cannot talk to your opponent. So if you're the Republic, you can't talk to the Imperials. And I know in the movies they can talk back and forth. If you're a Jedi, you can talk to the Sith. You know, they have their little dialogues back and forth. But for PvP purposes, if you want to make the PvP system in Ilum work, you can't allow that to happen. It just results in trading. It's going to result in people exploiting the system. And if you just want it to work, you can't allow them to talk to each other, because yeah, like I said, it's going to result in trading and exploiting, and that's just not going to make it fun for anyone. So another thing that I think would be a great benefit to Ilum would be to change the way that the Valor works. So right now, if you're in a Zerg and you kill someone, you get the same amount of Valor as if you just soloed that player by yourself. And I think this just promotes Zerging, and while I'm sure that they do want Zerg on Zerg fights, it just, right now, there's no incentive for the Imperials to go out and solo by themselves, and since the Republic does have such a small force compared to the Imperials for the most part, it just leads in, you know, the Imperials just rolling over the Republics, and that's not really fun for anyone, and it gives no incentives for the Republics to go out and try to go find fights by themselves, because they're really not going to be rewarded for those solo kills. So I think if they give more points for solo kills and make it so that you get less points the more players that you have in your group, it's going to give more incentive for players to roam in smaller parties and to maybe not stick to the Zerg all the time. And there's always a place for Zergs on any PvP game. But I think that if they made it so that you have incentives for players to maybe get into smaller parties, it's going to lead to more enjoyable experiences, and it's going to lead to, you know, the fights that are less laggy because their engine can't handle it, and it's going to lead to fights that are more even, hopefully more even, when there are fights or engagements, you know, out in the battlefield. So another thing I think they need to change is to get rid of the notification system. Right now, every time you go near a structure, you are notified, or pretty much you notify everyone that you have entered that area. And I know what the developers were trying to do. They were trying to make it so that if you don't know where the action is, it could give you a quick or general idea of where there might be some fights going on. But to be honest, I think that there are a lot better systems than that. You could maybe pull up the mini-map and show where maybe like lightsabers are on the battlefield, would show where you know, small skirmishes are, if there was a small lightsaber, or huge Zerg fights would be, you know, larger lightsabers or something like that. But the fact that it notifies you every 4 seconds that a player has entered the southern base or the central base is really annoying, and I don't really think it adds anything to the game, and it just gets really annoying, to be honest. I don't even notice it for the most part. I just kind of zone it out and tune it out. So yeah, I just think that there's better ways of notifying where the action is, and I just think that with the notification system, it just disincentivizes soloing, because if you go to the center structure by yourself, it notifies the 20 Imperials that you're in that location, and they all try to find you. And even though you're not fighting anyone, they're just going to find you and kill you, and then that's it. So like I said, I just think that there's better ways to go about it. So the final thing that I think needs to be done to Ilum to make it more enjoyable is to have some sort of keep or castle structure system. So you would have, instead of those 5 bases that you capture every 4 seconds because you can essentially trade them back and forth, which doesn't really happen anymore because they change the daily, but you know, you blow up the enemy's vehicles and then you get the point. And that, you know, that's okay, I guess, but I think if those were replaced with some sort of castle or structure, I don't care, you can change it to the lore, whatever would fit the lore better, but to have some sort of structure that the Republics can defend while the Imperials attack, because, let's be honest, that's most likely going to be the case because the Imperials are always outnumbering the Republics for the most part. So the Republics will actually have a foothold and get some sort of PvP reward out of the daily system, because right now, since Ilum is so open, it just results, like I've said numerous times, the Imperials just steamroll the Republic. So if you have some sort of structure system that will allow the Republics to defend, they can get some kills, they can have an enjoyable experience, and it won't be just a, Imperials just all over the map with only a couple Republics trying to get some solo kills. And that's really what it's resulted in right now. So I think if some sort of keep or structure system would really make Ilum a much more enjoyable experience. And I think the only way for them to do that is to optimize their system and also do the other changes that I mentioned. So the video that you guys are seeing here is just some Zerg fights that I had in Ilum, and this was kind of like the stars aligning. This was the very first time I had some enjoyable Zerg on Zerg fights in Ilum, so I was like really happy and excited that this was occurring, and I figured I'd record it. And you guys can probably notice that it's pretty laggy on the screen, but that's just because, like I said, they haven't really optimized their system yet. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, I would appreciate it if you give this video a rating. And if you have any suggestions on what you think would be a good change to Ilum, please let me know in the comment section below. I love hearing your guys' thoughts. But yeah, guys, if you would like to see more videos from me, I recommend that you subscribe to my channel, and also follow me on Twitter. But until next time, guys, have a good one, and take it easy.